friends, this is Hedda. If this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, welcome. Today I have a fun review for you guys because I recently got a bunch of new Archer & Olive products in the mail. I'll be giving away an Archer & Olive notebook in this video, so please make sure to watch the whole video until the end for details on the prize and how to win. Quick disclaimer before we get into the review. Not all, but many of the products in this video were gifted to me by Archer & Olive. I'm not getting paid to make this video, and Archer & Olive does not have any influence over what I say about their products, but I do have a business relationship with them in the form of an affiliate agreement. So what that means is that if you use my 10% discount code, which is mochibujo10, I get paid a small commission for that purchase. So just keep that in mind. I can't claim to be 100% unbiased, but nobody is truly objective anyway. So let's get into what this video is actually about, the notebooks. I have an assortment of notebooks that I want to show you today so that we can look at Archer & Olive's range of notebooks together and figure out how good they are. So I think I'll start by showing you a few different notebooks, then I'll do a pen test, and lastly I want to talk about environmental and ethical responsibility. Archer & Olive have a lot of different sizes and paper in their notebook assortment. So I think they have 5 different sizes, but I only have A5 and B5 here. They have notebooks with white paper, craft paper, and black paper, but they also have the best of both, or 3 worlds, which is the Neapolitan notebook. I had been drooling over this since they came out, and I'm so grateful that I got to receive this one for free because I was so curious as to how it would work, and I also wanted to know what Archer & Olive's craft and black paper was like. This was also before their Neapolitan notepads came out, so I didn't really have the alternative to buy the notepad to try the paper. This bluish notebook was my very first Archer & Olive notebook, and since then this notebook has kind of been a catch-all notebook. I've made some test spreads, some random notes, pen tests, and it continues to be a book for notes, just like a notebook should be. I want to show you the difference between the B5 and the A5 size. So this is my pink B5 notebook with white paper, and I have never journaled in a B5 notebook before, but I really want to try. Maybe I'll get the courage to do so in 2021. But for now, this beautiful B5 notebook is sitting on my shelf, and I actually also got an extra B5 notebook to give away to one of you. So this is it. It's from the same collection as my pink one, but this one is a gorgeous blue. And I wanted to give away this notebook because it's an uncommon size, and most people tend to maybe go for the safer A5 size when spending a lot of money on a new notebook. And let's not pretend that Archer & Olive notebooks aren't costly, because they are quite expensive. So I wanted to give one of you the chance to try a different sized notebook for free. And if B5 is your preferred size anyway, then great, good for you. I'll talk about how to enter at the end of the video, by the way, so just be patient with me here. I also want to show you this latest notebook that I received because this one feels really special. So I knew I would receive a notebook from the Mint Gardener collaboration collection, but I didn't know which color I would get. It comes in 3 colors, and this is the apricot. Now what makes this special is that the inside of the cover has a painting by the Mint Gardener. It looks super pretty, and I really like this notebook. It gives me flashbacks from Archer & Olive's earlier collections with the gilded pages and the floral pattern on the inside of the cover. And the last thing I want to show you before doing the pen tests is this notepad. I felt ambivalent to this when they first came out with notepads, but now that I have it in my hands, I can say that I really like this. When I first opened it, my boyfriend immediately said that he wanted it because it's so conveniently big and it feels really sturdy with the back and the vegan leather. It feels quite luxurious. And the best part is that this particular one comes with both white craft and black paper, and that's really cool. So now that I've shown you some of the variations of Archer & Olive's notebooks, let's look at some pen tests. I'm going to do the pen tests in my blue notebook since that's the one I've been using the most, but I also have some acrylograph pen swatches in my Neapolitan notebook, so you can get an idea of those papers too. So I'm going to follow the same template as I did in my last notebook review because that worked quite well. Obviously, most of these won't even show up on the black paper and might look a little bit weird on the craft paper, so I'm just gonna do these tests on the white paper. The first thing I want to test is my fountain pen. It wrote really smoothly and it didn't feather, so I'm really happy with that. I also tested my Zebra Mildliner and Iconic two-way pens, which are the two types of highlighters that I own. There was no ghosting and the colors glided on beautifully. If you saw my previous notebook review, you remember this brush pen section where I'm testing a few different brush pens, both black and colored. What I like to pay attention to is how the color shows up, because on some paper, for example in the Moleskine notebooks, the color from my brush pens look really weird and I don't like it. They show up beautifully in this Archer and Olive notebook though, so that's great. Of course, I am also testing my paint pens. So these are the Posca paint marker and my Archer and Olive acrylograph pens. I had high expectations, obviously, that the acrylograph pens would look nice, and it did. There was no ghosting or bleeding or warping. I made a little section for other pens where I'm just testing some fine liners, ballpoint pens, and gel pens just to see how they look. This made me realize my Winsor & Newton fine liner is running out of ink because it's looking kind of gray. None of the pens felt scratchy in any way, and overall it's a very pleasant experience to write with them. In this episode of Hedda Puts Alcohol-Based Markers on Paper That Will Absolutely Not Hold It, we see that alcohol-based markers absolutely and definitely bleed through this paper. No surprise there, as alcohol-based markers should not be used in your bullet journal. I keep seeing people in bullet journal groups on Facebook announcing that they are so excited to use their new pro markers in their journals and then having their hopes and dreams completely crushed in the comment section afterwards. And lastly, I'm going in with some watercolors. I think it's time we stop expecting notebooks to be able to hold watercolors, because watercolor paper is like 300 GSM and you don't want a notebook with 300 GSM paper. It's not nice to write on. But yeah, here I tested with some varying amounts of water with my Winsor & Newton Cotman student grade watercolors and the Vivia color sheets. The result is not that surprising. The colors do look nice on the paper, it soaks up really well, but I wouldn't paint with lots of water in an Archer and Olive notebook because the paper will buckle. It's not that bad though, there's no bleeding at least, so as long as you're careful with the amount of water, you should be good to color with watercolors. I want to talk a bit about environmental and ethical responsibility, and while I do that, I thought I'd just play around with the acrylograph pens on the craft and black paper because why not? Archer and Olive's website doesn't offer that much information on environmental and ethical responsibility, but I do have some inside information that I obtained this fall since I wrote a blog post for Archer and Olive's blog and I talked a bit with Nicola, who is head of the design team, so here's what I learned from her. Archer and Olive believes that sustainability is both environmental, social, and economic responsibility, all three of those. They take care to pay for guest bloggers and artists, and I've experienced that myself as a guest blogger. I also made a printable and I was treated very well. It definitely made me feel even more positive towards Archer and Olive as a brand. I felt very well received and taken care of. Bonnie, the founder of Archer and Olive, has been very vocal about her own mental health issues and continues to talk openly about this and encouraging a safe and healthy environment within Archer and Olive, so that's also very positive. As for environmental responsibility, all their products are claimed to be recyclable and leave a minimal footprint. All of the packaging is recyclable. Personally, I have issues recycling the bubble mailers their products come in. They're not that easy to separate, and the shrink wrap because of my local waste sorting, but I don't know if it's the same in other countries. According to Nicola, Archer & Olive is aiming to become B Corp certified in 2021, and I don't know much about B Corp certifications, but this would mean that all of their products have to be ethically sourced, with labor practices being considered as well, all across the supply chain, not just within production, and their products should leave a minimal footprint, if any at all. So this is all very positive. I wish that more of this information was clearly visible on the website. Overall, I think Archer & Olive's notebooks are really great. I think the linen cover offers something different from all the vegan leather notebooks out there, and it's really exciting to see Bonnie experiment with different sizes and different colors. The paper isn't unique anymore, although it probably was in the beginning, but it is high quality, and from what I can see of all the different notebooks I have from them, the quality is consistent across all of their products. My only complaint is that the processing and shipping times are quite long with Archer & Olive. Obviously the shipping is out of their hands, but the processing times should be possible to improve. I've had orders from Archer & Olive take up to a week to process, and then 2 or 3 weeks shipping after that. The longest I've waited is a whole month from ordering to receiving my order. It's probably a lot faster for domestic shipping though, I don't know. And now for the giveaway. All you need to do to win this gorgeous B5 notebook from Archer & Olive is to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and write a comment. Everyone who comments on this video are eligible to win. I will announce the winner in a community post in 1 week after this video is posted, so make sure you turn on post notifications so that you know when I post something new. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned a bit more about the notebooks from Archer & Olive. Remember to use my discount code mochibujo10 if you ever want to make a purchase, and stay tuned this month for more chances to win notebooks and gift cards. I hope you're all having a lovely day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!